Here we go! The episode begins with Angry Eyes and Bow and Arrow Girl from Season 5 chasing a blonde lady through the woods. They're shooting arrows at her and they have dogs chasing after her. For some reason, Green-Eyed Guy is here too, but I won't even try to guess what his deal is right now. Bow and Arrow Girl hits this blonde lady with an arrow and she goes down. Angry Eyes tells her that she's made Bow and Arrow Girl jealous, and then he tells the dogs to eat her. And the dogs are good boys, so they do it. Who is Bow and Arrow Girl? She seems like Angry Eyes' girlfriend, but in Season 5, she tells Red-Haired Queen to make babies with Angry Eyes, which is confusing because I would never tell anybody to have babies with my girlfriend. I should be the one having babies with my girlfriend. But not yet, we're not ready yet. We're not even married yet. And we're not gonna get married for a little while, you know, we wanna get our careers in order, we wanna figure out our life. We cut to Peter Dinklage and Handsome Man in Armor eating dinner together. Handsome Man in Armor reaches for his wine glass, but knocks it over with his fake hand. Peter Dinklage tries to make him feel better and pours some of his wine on the table. If this table had a mouth, it would be drunk as heck right now. Handsome Man in Armor tells Peter Dinklage that he can't fight anymore with only one hand. Peter Dinklage tells him he needs a discreet swordsman to train with, and Peter Dinklage is like, well, I have a friend with a mullet who'd be perfect for that job. And we cut to Greasy Mullet Guy and Handsome Man in Armor in their first sparring session. So this is how these two met. When I first started watching the show in Season 7, Greasy Mullet Guy and Handsome Man in Armor are together all the time. Peter Dinklage must get so jealous that he gave away his friend to his brother. We cut to Winterfell and Angry Eyes and his dad are still here. I think this woman is Angry Eyes' dad's wife, but he must have married her for an alliance because he seems to hate her. Inside, Angry Eyes shows Green-Eyed Guy to his dad, and his dad is like, why did you beat and brainwash Green-Eyed Guy, you maniac? Angry Eyes' dad says that he wanted to trade Green-Eyed Guy for a moat, but now he's useless. Angry Eyes says that Green-Eyed Guy is Reek now, and he makes Green-Eyed Guy shave his face. I guess to show that he can be trusted, but also maybe Angry Eyes is just craven a shaven. Angry Eyes asks Green-Eyed Guy if he killed the two Stark boys and burned their bodies like we see in Season 2, and Green-Eyed Guy says no, it was just two farm boys. Angry Eyes says that they need to kill the Stark boys or the Northerners will rally behind them, and he tells Green-Eyed Guy that they killed Sexy Jawline Guy. Green-Eyed Guy clearly isn't 100% brainwashed because he looks really upset to hear the news. But he doesn't kill Angry Eyes. Instead, he tells him that Bastard King is at the wall and he might know where the Stark boys are. Angry Eyes' dad tells Angry Eyes to take Green-Eyed Guy to the moat, which is I think where we see them in episode 8 of this season. We cut to Bald Guy telling Peter Dinklage that the eavesdropper from last episode told Short-Haired Queen about Peter Dinklage's girlfriend. Daddy Lannister is gonna kill her when he finds out about her, so Bald Guy offers to send her overseas where she'll be safe. We cut to Fancy Armor Man from Season 6 giving Jeffrey a goblet because he's Marjorie's dad. Jeffrey says that it's a handsome goblet, which explains why he's so mean to all of his girlfriends. He's attracted to goblets, not to women. Short-Haired Queen points out Peter Dinklage's girlfriend to Daddy Lannister, and he says to bring her to him before the wedding. This is definitely what leads to Peter Dinklage killing his dad, right? Peter Dinklage gives Jeffrey a book as his wedding gift, and Jeffrey actually has good manners and thanks him? Don't try to make me like you right before you die at your wedding. Do something mean. Then Daddy Lannister gives Jeffrey a Valyrian steel sword that he forged in episode 1 of this season, and Jeffrey immediately chops apart the book that Peter Dinklage gave him. That's more like it. Notice that he kept the handsome goblet perfectly safe so he can make out with it later. We cut inside to Peter Dinklage's room. His girlfriend walks in and he tells her that she has to get on a ship and go across the narrow sea. He set up a house for her so she'll be safe, but she refuses and wants to stay. Peter Dinklage starts yelling at her, trying to get her to hate him so she'll leave. This must be so hard for him. Like, he clearly loves her, but he knows she's too proud to leave just because she's in danger. We cut to Son of Fire and Woman with Red Hair burning people alive because they're a different religion than them. Then we cut inside and Son of Fire is being a real jerk to his wife, and I kinda get it. She's a wacko religious nut who wants to hurt her daughter Two-Face. We cut to Woman with Red Hair walking into Two-Face's room. Two-Face is like, your whole religion is pretty messed up if you think that burning dudes alive is a good thing. Woman with Red Hair tells Two-Face that there are two gods, a god of light and happiness and a god of darkness and evil, and the only hell is where they're living right now. Yeesh. I know life sucks sometimes, but I wouldn't consider this hell at all. Hell for me would be having to watch somebody eat really delicious food and then they never offer me any. That's why I can't watch cooking shows. We cut to a POV shot of what I think is a wolf killing a deer. And then we see Weird Raven Kid wake up. He was controlling his wolf because he's a warg. He's back with his weird group of friends from season 3, and they're telling him he needs to spend less time controlling the body of a wolf and more time getting his hair cut. Look at this hippie. Groot carries Weird Raven Kid to a Pocahontas tree, and when he touches it, his eyes roll into his head and he sees a bunch of crazy stuff from past episodes on the show. Then a voice tells him to go north. We cut to Jeffrey's wedding. Yes, it's gonna happen. He's gonna die. Jeffrey kisses Margarine and everyone claps. And that's it? What a wonderfully short ceremony. That's honestly how all weddings should be. You walk in, you kiss the bride, and then you leave and you go party for the rest of the day. Daddy Lannister and Calm Woman talk, and it seems like Calm Woman's family helped fund the Lannister army in the war, which must be why Margarine and Joffrey are getting married. We cut to the reception, and Greasy Mullet Guy tells Peter Dinklage that his girlfriend got on the ship to send her away to safety. As Peter Dinklage is walking through the reception, he passes by a woman with her naked butt on top of her head and her legs spread wide open. What is she doing? Trying to lick her own butt? She looks miserable. All the blood's gotta be rushing to her head. What a strange job. If you're ever at work and you're having a bad day, just take off your pants and try to do what this lady's doing. It could always be worse. Calm Woman talks to Red-Haired Queen and tells her she's sorry to hear about Sexy Jawline Guy. Yeah, fine, whatever. Now poison Joffrey. If he doesn't die this episode, I'm seriously gonna scream. Margarine makes an announcement and says that all the leftovers from the reception will go to feed the poor people in the city, which is super nice. Good job, Margarine. Then Dreamy Guy locks eyes with Curly-Haired Dude, and you know Dreamy Guy is trying to hit that. This man is a sex torpedo, and he's looking to blow Curly-Haired Dude up. Handsome Man in Armor shows up and tells Curly-Haired Dude that he's not allowed to marry Short-Haired Queen. And Curly-Haired Dude is like, sounds good to me, she's not really my type. Tall Woman goes on stage and tells Joffrey and Margarine that she hopes they bring peace to the Seven Kingdoms. Spoiler alert, Tall Woman, they don't. Short-Haired Queen thanks Tall Woman for bringing Handsome Man in Armor back home, and Tall Woman is like, oh, well, he saved me too. And Short-Haired Queen gets super jealous. She accuses Tall Woman of loving Handsome Man in Armor, and Tall Woman doesn't deny it. Whoa! Did Tall Woman and Handsome Man in Armor ever, fool around? Old Kinky Chains is hitting on a young lady and Short-Haired Queen comes over and saves her. Old Kinky Chains is one horny dog. What the heck? Short-Haired Queen tells Old Kinky Chains to send the leftover food to feed the dogs instead of the poor people like Margarine wanted. Well, I guess me and Short-Haired Queen do have something in common. We both like dogs more than people. The drunk guy from episode 1 of the season is juggling, and Joffrey yells that the first person to knock the drunk guy's head off gets a prize. Oh, phew, people just throw food at him. That could have gone way worse. Dreamy Guy introduces Poison Lips to Short-Haired Queen and Daddy Lannister. These people really hate each other. This conversation does answer a question I've been asking for months though. Dreamy Guy's brother is in fact in a wheelchair because he has gout. I kind of figured that he was in a wheelchair and he didn't just love sitting all the time, but I did have my gouts. Joffrey stands up and tells everyone that it's time for a history lesson. Then a bunch of little people come out and act out the war. This is just like what I've planned for my wedding. I'm gonna make people stop talking to each other and we're gonna watch the entirety of the Ken Burns Civil War documentary.
The war made some rich, ruined others, and changed forever the lives of all who lived through it.
Also, it's kind of crazy that I found out that Joffrey dies by watching a play, and Joffrey is watching a play now right before he dies. Plays are important. We need to continue funding theater programs in our schools. Red-Haired Queen watches as the actors act out Sexy Jawline Guy getting killed and everyone in the audience claps. Joffrey is loving this performance so much. He tells Peter Dinklage to go down and put on one of the costumes. Peter Dinklage doesn't lose his temper and he actually replies really nicely, even though I'm sure he wants to slap this guy across the face. Joffrey gets up and pours his whole cup of wine on Peter Dinklage's head. He tells Peter Dinklage to get him more wine and then he drops his goblet in front of Peter Dinklage. But that goblet is so handsome. When Peter Dinklage bends down to grab it, Joffrey kicks the goblet away. Wow, I cannot wait to watch the life leave Joffrey's eyes. Red-Haired Queen hands the handsome goblet to Peter Dinklage and he fills it and hands it to Joffrey. But Joffrey tells him he has to kneel for his king. He yells at him to kneel until the pie comes out and everyone gets distracted. This pie is enormous and I want it inside of me. Joffrey hands his goblet to Margarine who puts it down not too far from Calm Woman. Oh my gosh, do it now! Joffrey starts eating his pie and asks Peter Dinklage to serve him his wine. And as Peter Dinklage picks up the wine, he makes eye contact with Calm Woman. Oh, I love this. Joffrey takes a big gulp of his wine and then he starts choking. Calm Woman is like, help him, which is the best. It's like when you fart and it smells really bad, and to make it seem like it wasn't you that farted, you're like, ugh, it smells in here, did somebody fart? That's what Calm Woman's doing right now, but with poison. Joffrey falls down and starts vomiting. Handsome Man in Armor and Short-Haired Queen try to help him, and then Drunk Guy tells Red-Haired Queen that if she wants to live, she needs to leave. Is he involved in this somehow? He must be friends with Calm Woman. Joffrey looks awful. He looks like how I feel all the time. He reaches out towards Peter Dinklage, who is examining the handsome goblet, and then Joffrey dies. Yes! Ding dong, the witch is dead! Short-Haired Queen obviously thinks Peter Dinklage poisoned his goblet, and she orders her men to grab him. We get one last beautiful shot of dead Joffrey, and then the episode ends. Fantastic. I want a framed picture of dead Joffrey so I can hang it above my bed. That death looked pretty painful and everything, but I just wish that he could have suffered for more than just the 2 minutes it took him to die. Were you guys expecting this to happen when these episodes were coming out live? Because this seems completely out of nowhere. It's episode 2 of the season, and one of the biggest characters in the show dies? And this is only 3 episodes after, like, 3 main characters die at the end of season 3? You guys must have been like, whoa! This is also the first time you guys have voted for me to watch 2 episodes in chronological order back to back. And it was nice. Now I understand why you guys watch shows in order. I'll give this episode a 9 out of 10. Honestly, the first 50 minutes of this movie could have just been a grown man pooping his pants, and just because the last 2 minutes was Jeffrey dying, it's a great episode. Let's reach into these boxes and see which episode I'm gonna watch next. Season 6, Episode 1. Season 1, Episode 7. Season 2, Episode 7. Season 3, Episode 8. And last but not least, Season 6, Episode 9. So those are the options for which episode I'm gonna watch next. There should be a poll right here, a little box. Go ahead and click on that and vote for which episode you'd like me to watch. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Some of you have been really nice to me and have supported me on Patreon, so it's time to do these shoutouts. I haven't done these in a little while, so I'm interested to see how bad I'll be. Abdul Karim Adesokan. That is a sick name. Also, you were probably always first when you lined up alphabetically in school, right? I mean, AA, you crushed it every time, I'm sure. Also, Abdul Karim, that's Kareem Abdul backwards. I don't know if you know that, I'm sure you have. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all-time points leader in NBA history, one of the best to ever play the game, and you're him, but backwards. Thank you for the support. Karen Sloan. Well, Karen, I'm Karen about you because you support me. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for the support. Yemli. Yimli? Yimli? That kind of sounds like Gimli, the dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Also, want to hear something that's crazy? My girlfriend has never seen the Lord of the Rings movies. Tell my girlfriend to watch those movies with me. I love those movies. Thank you so much for the support, Yemli. Nicole Tover. Tover? I hardly knew her. I'm sorry, Nicole. Thank you for supporting me. Dana Bourne. Dana Bourne. Dana Bourne sounds like you were born from a woman named Dana. So is Dana also your mom's name? Dana Bourne. You get what I'm saying here? Does that make any sense? I'm exhausted. I'm so sorry, everyone whose shoutouts I did tonight. These were pretty bad. But I'm rusty, and it's like 11 p.m., and I'm tired, and I can count to 5. Thank you for the support, Dana. If you want to support me on Patreon, there's a link in the description below, and I'm going to put a button at the end of the video. Click on the button, check out the Patreon page. Give me money if you want to. If you really like my videos and you look forward to them every single week, I'd really appreciate a couple bucks, but you don't have to give me any money. Who am I kidding? Who am I? Why do I deserve your money? Give your money to a charity instead. I'm just a dumb boy. Okay, bye.